Excellent. Please help me welcome District Director Larry Merritt.
Thank you, Deb. So you have a number of items in your packets that everybody should have picked up when they walked in. Hopefully everybody also checked in and gave Emily your badge number so that she can keep track of that. A couple of things that I wanted to bring up is on December 5th from 5:30 to 8 p.m. is our District 6 holiday potluck. So for those of you who want to attend, it is a family event, so you can bring significant others, spouses, kids, whatever you want. And that is in St. Paul. Next up, how many of you, hopefully everyone here, received the email from Wally Kaiser, our Toastmasters International finance person? And how many of you attended one of the training sessions either Thursday night or Friday during the day? I know it was not some good times as far as availability, but that was what they had. I believe we're going to go over some of that for the people who didn't make it or couldn't make those. The whole reason behind this, just so all of you know, right now, when you go and submit an expense, it's all paperwork, all paper forms. You have to get it to Kimberly or I. Kimberly and I have to try to meet up, which we try to do once a month, to sign out checks. If it's over a certain amount, we need to have Diane and Harold sign it also. And then we have to get the check back to you. And that process is going to take months to get to you. Toastmasters International last year worked on a system, and we were the pilot for it. It worked out pretty well. Actually, as a trio member, I absolutely loved it because I could do everything online via my phone. But the system was just okay. And now they switched to a Concur system, which is a more enterprise system. I use it at work. I know several others do here too. Again, it's a pilot, and so they're rolling it out to more districts. And so we're going to try this out. And the goal is to have every single person submitting their information online so that you're not doing a paper form for us to track. The nice thing about that is you'll be able to submit it whenever you want, submit it right from home. You'll be able to upload your receipts, and then you don't have to worry about getting papers to us or anything, because Kimberly and I will be able to see them right on object, tested it. I could be able to approve them right off my phone, and then we will get the reimbursements back to you. The one thing that I believe Kimberly is going to be going over here is you will have to enter your bank account information online at the Concur system if you want to be able to get it automatically deducted as soon as I approve it. If you are not comfortable with that, which there might be some, then Toastmasters International will be submitting you the check for reimbursement. It will no longer come from District 6. And so they will be doing that, but there will be that 2 to 3 week or more delay from them to cut the check, get it in the mail, and get it to you, just so you're aware. And so I believe, Kimberly, where are you? There she is. I believe Kimberly's going to go over, for those of you who couldn't take the training, some of the things that we want to highlight on the new Concur system. So please welcome up our Finance Manager, Distinguished Toastmaster, Kimberly Reddington.
Good morning, Toastmasters.
Good morning.
How's everyone doing on this beautiful morning? Wow. Larry, what are you feeding these people? They're awful quiet. Now, I did not see the show of hands. How many attended this training last Thursday and last Friday? Okay, there's quite a few that have not. And for those that have attended, I apologize. We are going to do a quick review, and I can meet privately with the next group if you would like on how to do it for those that were not able to attend. The training lasted for about 15-20 minutes. There really weren't any questions on Thursday evening that came through from anybody that had questions, and I'm not sure about Friday morning. I attended on Thursday. And what it is, this is the first part of it, is we're going to talk about the logging in. Does everyone know their membership number? Only one person knows their membership number. Only one hand is raised. A few over here. If you're unsure where your membership number is, it's on your magazine that you get every month. It's located on there as well. What that is you will need that to be the first part of your login, and then your name, and that's put in there. And then you'll create your password to go in. The thing that you want to be careful of is make sure you write down your password and your login. Okay? Things you tend to forget, or you're not sure how you set it up, and that was one of the problems that we had with the previous pilot, is people weren't remembering what their passwords were, or that hadn't logged in soon enough, and their passwords had expired. This is what the home page basically looks like. It's just a very open page, has all your top parts for your Concur. And each step will highlight in terms of where you are for your process, as well as your alerts. It'll talk about what your tasks are and which are your other reports. You want to just kind of keep an eye on what the alerts are and what your trips are. Kind of look at here and where the notes are when things are submitted. You'll want to also make sure you upload your receipts when you submit it. You also want to make sure you upload your maps. Now I know that for those that have been submitting expense reports before, I've said if you've given me your maps, you don't need to keep giving me your maps because we have it on file for you in your folder, which is true. However, because we are going to a new system, they do require that the maps be uploaded, whether it's Google Maps or MapQuest. So those will need to be uploaded for your expenses. In addition to that, kind of pay attention to if things get kicked back to you. If something is not figured out correctly in terms of mileage or your receipts, or it's unclear, Larry and or I would maybe send it back to you, asking you to please review those. And there'll be a note in there, a detailed note explaining what needs to be corrected on that expense report and how to go about correcting it.
Do we have to come up here to see if there's a note for us, or do we get an email?
You'll get a notification.
Okay.
All right. We kind of talked about that, so we're going to go through this a little bit. Your profile. This is very, very, very important. I would like to encourage you today to go home. Please do not do it on your phones during training today. The training is very important. But when you go home today or tomorrow, please go to the website for Concur and log in. In addition, go in and put your bank account information in there and set up your profile. If you have problems, make sure you let us know right away, because then we can let Toastmasters International know there's a problem. Okay? You can send an email to myself and Larry, Diane, and Harold, and we'll make sure it gets taken care of. Yes, Ben?
What is the website that we go to to log in all this stuff?
Great question. It is and it's on the bottom, www.concur.com/en-us/login for the login portion. Okay. Any questions about putting this in? I know Larry mentioned that you could also do paper. That will take 2 to 3 weeks lag time. I would encourage you to put your bank information in. That will be a very quick turnaround. Checks will be done at the end of the week. Larry and I will be going in and seeing that pretty much right away when they're put in. He'll approve it. Once he approves it, I'll get a notification that I will approve it. Once I approve it, it goes right away to Toastmasters International. There's no delay past that. So as soon as I see it, I approve it, and it's gone. Okay? This is, many of us have banked online, so many of us have put our checks in, but this is just a quick reminder about where we find our bank information. Your routing number is to your right, and then your account number is in the middle. You do not need a check number, so you don't need to worry about that. You do need to make sure your routing number and your bank account number is correct. And the one thing you want to make sure is to actually double check that as you're putting that in, because It's very easy, especially if you have a lot of the same numbers, a lot of ones or a lot of zeros. That is a common error when people are putting that online, that they're forgetting either one or they're adding too many when they do it. So just kind of be careful of that because it can kick it back and delay payments back to you. Does anyone have any questions thus far? All right, the first part is how to go about creating the expense report. Now, before, we're doing everything by paper. Many of you are turning them in today. Today is the last day that Larry and I will be signing checks. So if you have them with you, I would encourage you to please turn those over to us so we can give you your check today before you leave. If not, then today, because I know a few of you had asked if you could do it on Concur, and yes, you can. If you'd like to wait and do that, please do. We'd like to encourage you to get out to the system, get familiar with the system, and try it out. If you run into problems, let us know. Okay? And this slide kind of takes you through it. I know it's a little bit hard to see, but we can make sure those that attended the training, were you mailed out the slide presentation? Yeah. Okay. For those that didn't, see me and let me get your email address so we can make sure we get it out to you because it is a step-by-step instruction on how to do it. Okay? I'm just gonna go by these really quickly here. If you have questions in terms of how to code something, and on our expense reports there are codes on how we put things in. Ask Larry and myself on how it needs to be coded, and we'll make sure you have the correct code in there so we can have it coded correctly. Everything has particular coding in terms of where it belongs or financing. That ties into our budget and how our budget was done and how the money was allocated. Okay. Does anyone have any questions at all? Yes, Megan Jo.
They gave us an initial password. Was that well done, or was that something else? I don't remember what they set up for you.
I was not given, and I did not hear on the Thursday what that was.
The password, when you first log in, when it goes to the user ID and password, the password itself is the word welcome, all lowercase. Get welcome, all lowercase.
Say, Larry, mine was welcome one. I don't know if I had a special one.
You might have had a special one. The notes say it's the word welcome. The other thing I want to make note is for your user ID, it's your code, and that it is, you have to have a minimum of 8 letters before the @toastmasters.org. So if your number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you have to put in 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to make up the additional 8. Okay. Again, we will get to you. Did everybody write down the URL? Read back one more time.
Yep.
It's www.concur.com.
You can just search on Concur.
Yeah. Any other questions in regards to our expense system?
Ben.
Is there a particular day that MTI will be taking care of all this stuff, and then when will it reflect in the bank account?
Yes, so the system is actually up right now. You can go out as soon as this meeting's over. You can go and register. Officially, we're starting it on Monday, but anytime today, we're going to go ahead and start accepting them. I will go through and Kimberly and I will be approving them every so often. I'll get notifications via my phone, so I can go in and approve them. What will happen is once we approve them, it goes to TI on a Tuesday. They will submit the ACH. And then on that Friday, it will go into your bank account. If you choose to have it, the check mailed, we have to approve it, then TI has to go write the check, and then it has to get mailed, and that takes an additional 2 to 3 weeks, they say. Any other questions?
I have like one, I have 3 clubs in Marshall where I can live. Then I have one in Fall. And that's about 40, 50 miles away. But why would visits of put it like 17 miles or whatever, or 14 miles or whatever, is it big or how is that? What's the procedure or how much you want to get at.
Yep, so the question was around mileage for entering that in the Concur system.
Yeah.
You will do it just like you would do on the paper form, minus the 25. So if anything round trip is less than 25, I wouldn't even submit it. If it is over 25, you'll submit the total amount of miles minus that first 25 times 0.575. If you entered incorrectly, we will reject it, and then you will update it, and then resubmit it. Because I don't think we are allowed to do corrections. You guys have to do the correction.
Correct, and currently, if your mileage is incorrect, I've been making those corrections for you, whether it's a decrease by pennies or an increase for some, because the calculations were done incorrectly. Unfortunately, under the new system, we are not able to do that. That's why please pay attention when those are coming back to you. That you do them as soon as possible, then we'll be able to do it really quickly and be able to ensure that you get your payment. With that said, there's been a couple of times I have mailed out checks to some of you. They were sent from my building, which is a federal building, and unfortunately there was a delay in the mailing of them or when they could pick up because of security. I apologize in that delay. I have recently learned due to the second go around that has happened again. But they are out. So I apologize if you have not gotten any checks that you are due. Okay. Any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Chief.
Couple of other things before we move on to our next topic. Directories. All of you should have directories in front of you. Every division director and every area director gets at least one. And then the area directors should have a little bag in front of them. There should be 2 booklets in there per club. So count the number of clubs you have, make sure you have the proper number of booklets in there. Technically, they should be going to your president and VP of education as you pass them out. And if other members want them, as we have extras, we will be handing them out at our fall conference, spring convention, etc. for those extra directories. Questions there? Next topic that I want to talk about is our reformation. And what that means is splitting of our district. Because of the size of our district, we're one of the largest districts as far as number of clubs in the world. I think we're like the 3rd or 4th largest. Toastmasters International reached out to me at our mid-year or our training in Las Vegas to say we need to start looking into how we would split and what we would need to do in order to do that. It is basically a 2-year to 3-year process in order to do this from start to finish. So it's not like we vote on it today and then tomorrow we split. In order to do that though, I need to have a vote. And this vote is going to be around, and I'm doing this kind of informally, around allowing us to go forward with doing the research, assigning the chair, which we kind of already have a chair, and things like that. So to look at this from an eligibility standpoint, we have 78 district officers. That's the 61 area directors, 10 division directors, and then these 7 leadership or senior leaders, which is the trio, finance manager, administration manager, etc. And today, it sounds like we have 56 people here. We needed 51 in order to do the vote, so we have enough. And we need, in order to do 51%, we need 26 people here to say yes. So what I'm asking and moving today is for us to go ahead forward with the research for the Reformation, and with the chairperson of that being Drew Jorgensen, which she will be here in a little while. And then we will be putting together a team with her committee, and we'll actually have an update on the Reformation of where we're sitting and where we're kind of looking at for different lines as far as how the district would split, what it would look like, things like that at the fall conference during the business meeting. So I move to have us go forward with this All in favor? Oh yeah, we need a second. Yep. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? All right, cool. We'll move forward with that.